guys, so you joined me this afternoon with the Perodua Aruz. Now, we're actually in the process of filming this car with the Perodua Aruz to bring you a video comparing Perodua's two 7-seaters together, but I actually wanted to make a special video about this particular car because this car, VCS 4310, is actually the Aruz that we reviewed about 9 months ago, back in February, when the Aruz first came out. Now, for those of you who might not be too familiar with the way we do things, when we request for media cars, more often than not, there are so many in the fleet that we very rarely see the same car twice. But now we've been given the unique opportunity to see this car 9 months afterwards. When we returned this car, it had about 1,000 kilometers on it. Now it's nearing 16,000. So we can actually take a look 9 months on to see how this car's fared. Okay, so again, like I said, this car, VCS 4310, is the exact Perodua Aruz that we reviewed back in February. And back then it had stickers on the side, and it had stickers on the window and stuff like that. But now all the stickers have been removed. But again, let's just take a look and see what's happened to this car in the last 9 months. So if you see there are some marks there, that's actually just bird poo. We don't actually know where that came from because the Malaysian Motoring offices has covered parking, so we don't know where exactly that happened, but it happened. But for the most part, in the last 15,000 kilometers since we've seen it, 15,000 kilometers in 9 months, this car hasn't actually been through all that much. So there are no marks in the bodywork, which is great, even though this car has definitely traveled quite a bit of distance with quite a number of different people, I should add. Because media cars tend to get passed around every week with different publications, and so we see these cars go out very often. And I'll just tell you that motoring journalists aren't exactly the most gentle people in the world because we have a very limited amount of time with these cars, and so we try and do as much as we can with them so that we can simulate in a period of 4 days to 7 days what it's like to perhaps live with a car like this on a day-to-day basis. So the exterior, there's no real significant aesthetic marks all over it. It still seems to be in pretty good condition. Now, if we look at the front, okay, now if we move into the front seat, you can see that again, there are no marks, there's no nothing on this car. In fact, notably, the only sort of wear and tear marks I can see here is that on the leather, you can see there are some slight bits of or slight marks of creasing and so on, but aside from that, this car is totally fine. In fact, even on the dash and even on the steering wheel, there are not marks on it anywhere. There are no scratches, no nothings, no creases, nothing. This car appears to have weathered the last 9 months in pretty good fashion, despite being abused very regularly by motoring journalists as well as executives within Perodua who might use this internally. So now, if we look at the back, oh dear. Oh, actually no. If you look here, there are some scuff marks around the door handles. Now, of course, this is to be expected with a car after a little while. Even my personal cars tend to have scratches like that just due to usage. It's very difficult to avoid those. But now, if we move to the middle row, you can see that once again there are no marks on the leather. Everything appears to be in very, very good condition. Even down here, you can see that those wear and tear marks I mentioned to you up front, they are not visible back here at all. Everything here appears to be working just fine, and they appear to be in very, very good condition throughout. So now let's go and take a look at the third row. So the third row operation requires you to pull that handle there, which I will now do. It tumbles, and oh, I have some stuff back here. We'll just ignore that very quickly. But again, back here, there doesn't appear to be any major marks, except for those little indentations. Now, we figured out that these indentations come from the seats being folded onto the seatbelt buckle. Now, these were present when the car was new. They have gotten a little bit worse with time, but overall, this is still pretty much what you'd expect. The funny thing is, I have been trying since the first time I got this car, I have been trying to hide these a little bit more so that the leather doesn't mark, but to no avail. It appears to be damaged anyway, but I don't know what Perodua would do about that. But in any case, again, this car appears to be running just fine. Hang on, I need to just move some of these items out of the way before I can fold this back down. And folded. So, as you can see, this car, despite the fact that it has been abused and mistreated and perhaps not as lovingly cared for as I've no doubt owners will, it seems to be in very, very good shape. In fact, we were really surprised. In fact, I think my video assistant pointed it out that this might actually be the same car that we reviewed, and sure enough, he was right. And as I said, it is not often that we are given the opportunity to sort of take a look at a car that we've seen before, particularly one so long after we first reviewed it. It's still in the fleet, it's still here, it's still doing its duty as a media car and a marketing car for Perodua, and like I said, it's in very good condition. I've no doubt that Perodua has been servicing this car on time, because, you know, if Perodua doesn't service it on time, who else will? And the tires are still in good nick. The car runs very smoothly, it's very quiet. You can read, actually you can watch more of my thoughts with this car in the upcoming review where we pit this against the Perodua Alza, as well as the original review that I made with this car back in February, all of which I will either link in the description or put it up in little balloons or annotations on this video. But in any case, we are very happy to see this. It's sort of like greeting an old friend again. And of course, we were very happy to have this car. We absolutely love the Perodua Aruz. It is a great example of what Perodua is capable of now, and it looks great, and I'm glad that it's still here and serving well 9 months on. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, don't forget to hit the little bell icon so that you're notified every time we make a new upload, and of course follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at MalaysianMotoring, or you can follow me at Aiman I Abdullah. Thanks so much. We will catch you in the next video.